This is Sunset Vibes TV. Raw.
Thank you very much, Madam Master of Ceremony, Stacey Ann, for your usual good mastering of the ceremony and proceedings. May I also thank the Reverend Dr. Wayne McFarlane for leading us in prayers. Your Member of Parliament told me that he could not miss this for the world. I know he should be somewhere else, but he has decided to be here, which signals the importance of this development, not for his ministerial position, but for his position in Parliament. So I understand, Minister, why you're here. His Worship, the Mayor, Michael Belnavis, and your team from the Municipal Corporation, the Honorable Joseph Issa, the Mayor said that you were both Custos Rotolorum and Custos Emeritus. I don't know if you can be both at the same time. Okay. So I misquoted you then. And of course, allow me to acknowledge the man of the moment, Mr. Wayne Booth, our host and managing director, and his daughter, Alicia, who spoke. Alexia. And of course, our architect, Mr. Nathan Hamilton. It gives me great pleasure to join you this afternoon to break ground for the construction of Booth 2, a modern service complex which will become the hub of this area and will redefine the experience that residents and visitors have along the North Coast. Today is about the continuation of a vision, a Jamaican vision for growth, for innovation, and self-reliance. I met Mr. Booth somewhere around 2019, or maybe before that, maybe about 2017. But in 2019, I had 2020 almost, I believe it was. 2020. I visited at that time you were just doing the development for IBEX, if I recall. But it was right during the period of COVID. And I was questioning the wisdom of his intense investment at the time. The section that is passing through Draxall and other areas where we're seeing this intense urbanization will be more of a boulevard. We note that this development will have a sky bridge connecting the two properties. I made sure to ask Mr. Booth. I should have asked the architect as to whether or not the designs have had the benefit of the future plans. And I have been told yes, but for certainty, when I go back to my office, I will call the entities just to ensure that what we are doing is future-proof. Because I wouldn't want the development to be happening in the future, and then there are some design issues. So seeing that I am speaking at the groundbreaking and having knowledge of it, I will call in the entities to be served. And indeed, it may very well be, because of how the development has evolved, that we may have to have several of these sky bridges to connect the urban space. Usually, where we have to do these kinds of development and boulevards, we would put in place to have grade separations and so forth to accommodate the cross movement of vehicular and pedestrian traffic. But all of that will be considered. Another thing which we have to consider when we're doing these kinds of urban development is noise pollution. And I'm saying this not because I'm being interrupted by several heavy vehicles passing. And indeed, I noticed that the architect lost his train of thought when one of those noisy vehicles passed. But I'm saying this because when we are doing our urban planning, we don't always take into consideration some of these issues, which ultimately reduce benefit and welfare of the people who will occupy these spaces. We are seeing this challenge with, for example, hotels that were built many years before the highways were created that run before them, and there is noise pollution. Hospitality and noise pollution can't work. You're having this lovely facility, you're going to be having fine dining and, BPO operations. A noisy environment and these kinds of activities don't go together. So there has to be a kind of design consideration when we are making these developments. And I'm certain that the architects can put in place certain measures to dampen the noise. And we at the NWA and NROC, we certainly will have to consider the kinds of materials and whatever technologies that are available to dampen the sound of the tire and the asphalt. So we are going to be looking into all of that, and I encourage developers here to build in the necessary buffers to dampen and reduce the noise pollution. But having said that, there has to be better traffic management because certain vehicles that are emitting certain decibels of noise should not be allowed in certain zones. And so there has to be stronger enforcement of noise control zones. But apart from that, apart from the development of this corridor, we will be extending the north-south highway. So the people of this area and those who traverse from Kingston to Montego Bay will have another option of an extended toll road, which will extend the existing north-south highway, which will go, I believe, very close to the parish border, to Trelawney. So there will be two corridors that the commuting public will have. And that in itself will open up new lands for development, support the natural energy here. So effectively, what may very well happen in the next 10 years is this area will become the magnet for business and other urban development. And then we will have to be thinking very carefully, how do we then rationalize between St. Anne's Bay here and Ocho Rios? So effectively, the new center of economic activity, which will be better planned, more efficient, more conscious of the environment, delivering a better quality and standard of living, that will then give an opportunity for the redevelopment and rebirth of Ocho Rios and St. Anne's Bay, where we could take advantage of the old charm of the smaller streets, of the more intimate setting, to utilize them for greater tourism and lifestyle products. So we are thinking in a very comprehensive and strategic way about the spatial and social development of the area, taking into consideration urban development. So I'm here, Mr. Booth, to also bring to the attention of the people in in Central, that your government is working in very strategic ways. You may not always see it, because every time there is a blockage on the road, there is a call that we must do something about the road. But no matter what I say, that yes, something is being done about the road, the only time that people believe it is when they see the backhoe or the excavator on the road. But I want to just assure the public that in how we do things now is that we don't put the backhoe and the excavator on the road and then we develop the plan or decide where the alignment is to go or do the consultations with the public. No. We take at least 2 years of development work before we turn any soil. And we are now in that phase of doing the development work. The IFC is our partner in the development on this corridor, and China Harbour is the development partner for the extension of the North-South Highway, and they are now currently doing their plans. The extension of the North-South Highway will be done in phases. It will have 2 legs. First phase and the first leg is to extend from where the current North-South Highway ends to bypass this area via a toll road. And then the second leg is to connect from where the road currently ends to bypass Ocherius. So we're going to ensure that there is efficient traffic flow and connectivity for this area. This area will definitely become the new center of urban development for the parish of St. Anne. So Mr. Booth, you are ahead of the game by putting your stake in early. But I close my presentation to you by noting that this development, my estimate, Mr. Booth, is that you'll be probably spending about $1.5 billion to do this development. When I see contractors and developers, they are not so much complaining about financing these days. There are some that have financing challenges, but financing is available. What they do complain about, it is a real challenge